teacher?
Math is more stressed than you because he's supposed to write up his thesis. So that ultimate level of stress in a graduate experience.
What is he writing about?
He's writing about, in my talk, I talk about spatiotemporal turbulence, a little example with cats running around and, something that's almost doable by hand. Probably will be when I figure out how to do the zeta function. But he's doing the real problem. So he's working on a partial differential equation that looks like Navier-Stokes, but is not Navier-Stokes. It's called Kuramoto-Shivashin's pair of scientists who were interested in flame fronts rather than in fluid, but it looks like a fluid equation in one dimension. So that's often a way people practice before they solve Navier-Stokes, because solving problems in 3 dimensions is much harder than in one for partial differential. So he's identifying patterns that could be assigned symbolic dynamics names in a much harder problem than the spatiotemporal cat that I explained. And he's done lots of progress, but most of us have difficulty with writing our results up, and the graduate students tend to solve a problem and then decide it's trivial, forget it, and go solve next problem in the project. And when the time comes to write a thesis, they've done 7 things that they think they're trivial, but actually it took them 3 years to do it. So they're not trivial. And, they're not trivial for anybody else. It takes you 3 years. The other people will also take several years. But by that time, they've forgotten everything they've actually done because they're just excited about the very last thing they're doing. So that's a problem of writing up a thesis as a graduate student. For the first time in your life, you have to write something that's book length, and it has to make sense. And most of the things you don't think are worth writing up because I did them, so they must be trivial. So that's, his problem. So basically what I'll have to do as advisor, I'll have to write up the things that he omits from his thesis and publish them, because I can see what things he has contributed that we didn't know before we started. But anyway, advisor is a strong word. Yes, I try to advise, but nobody listens. So these are all adults, grad students, adults. As a rule, they don't really listen. And it's the only way to learn. You have to make your own errors. So I appreciate it. But yes, besides, I'm so often wrong in what I think the result will be that, I have no respect whatsoever for my graduate students.